There are a lot of subtleties to Ori's movement you've probably already noticed, but I wanted to go over some of the less obvious tech that can be used for speedrunning as well as smoothing up your casual playthroughs. Here's some of the most important ones. As soon as you release your bash, let go of any direction you're pressing, and Ori will keep all the horizontal momentum from that bash. You can double jump and use the feather here as you want, and it still won't interrupt the glide until you press the direction. Ori's dash has an internal cooldown. However, it can be interrupted with either a slash or a jump, which in turn can be interrupted with another dash. By chaining these together multiple times, it's possible to move a lot quicker with your dash. Dash slashes can be interrupted by terrain, so it's good to know the lay of the land to best traverse it. Chances are that you already found this in your casual playthrough. By doing up slashes and regular slashes, you can slightly stall Ori's momentum in the air. However, you can only use one type of slash per air time. For example, if you do 2 up slashes, Ori will just simply fall down on the second one. Hitting an enemy with a sword will refresh all of Ori's aerial resources, dash, double jump, and even launch. It's also quicker to jump cancel attacks and then do the full combo. You can even do cool stuff like this by cancelling slash of a sentry, then cancelling that with a jump, and then slashing again. By pressing up slash and sentry on the same frame, Ori will skyrocket into the air. This is just as overpowered as it looks, and it can completely skip the need for some abilities. For every frame that you're off though, Ori won't go quite as high, but don't worry, the input isn't very difficult. However, doing an aerial sentry jump is a lot harder. For this, you have to press sentry, then press up slash exactly 3 frames later. This one isn't really used except by advanced speedrunners, but it does become more consistent with practice. Sentry dashing is even more advanced than sentry jumping, so don't worry if you can't get it. First, stand on a slope. Press slash, then sentry, then dash, and Ori will skyrocket even further than a sentry jump. This trick can be quite specific for where to set it up, so in speedruns it's typically only used in a few spots. However, you can probably experiment with it and find some fun usages. There are a few other examples of movement, but they're mostly subtleties, and this should be enough to get you through most if not all of the major speedrun categories. However, if you're interested, you can check out my text guides over on speedrun.com or ask on the Discord, which I've left a link to in the description. I hope this helps, and thank you for watching.